Greetings everybody, my name is Tommy the Game Master and welcome again to my channel. In this video I'm going to be doing a response to ReviewTech USA's editorial about basically saying that the violence being blamed on video games should be blamed on the prescription drugs. I think Rich has a really great point there. It is something that needs to be looked into. I want to be responding more on the politics. He's blaming the drug companies. I'm saying there's another reason for it. And while the drugs need to be looked into, so do the mental health. And why are these never discussed when any of these mass shootings happen? And I'll get into that. First, I should tell you that the violent video game debate has affected me personally. When I was in high school, Columbine happened, and I live in the same state. I also have ADHD, and for those who just seen the internet memes like it says I have ADHD squirrel, that's not how it works. Basically, the distractions come very internally. I'm always kind of lost in thought and in a daydream, and it just happens. Always lost in the daydream. Needless to say, that kind of makes you quirky, it kind of makes you an outcast, whatever, introverted to the extreme. I'm also that. So, needless to say, I'm a gamer, I'm someone who doesn't have many friends. I wore a black coat oftentimes in schools, just simply because I wouldn't want to lose it, and that's just the color that I picked out. So I actually had rumors flying about me because I was a gamer that I was actually planning some sort of mass Columbine plot against my school. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not a violent person, knows I don't like conflict, and knows I'm not liking guns. But anyways, why would the media and the politicians never talk about mental health? Because there is no political gain. Think about it this way. Whenever a mass shooting happens, people want quick answers, so someone will always look for a scapegoat. Those on the left usually go for the guns. Oh, we got to get all the guns off the street. Make sure no one has them. Which is impossible to do anymore, folks. 3D printing has made that impossible. Even if the government was able to get every gun off the street now and do it without sparking a revolution, criminals could probably just find a way to actually print them out and use them. It's not that hard to make a gun. So that's really a BS argument, and it's an argument that has no solutions. But you can score political points. On the right, although a lot of progressives on the left also maintain this, see violent video games, see violent media as a corrosion of our culture. Basically, you know, because people are investing so much time in all these violent games, they are corroding their sense of humanity, they're losing their sense of humanity, they're corroding their whole thoughts, and they're becoming desensitized, so we must take a stand to try to stop it. Actually looking at mental health does neither side any good. And just to point it out, when Jared Loughner, I think it was, who did the Gabby Giffords, and I know that's not gaming related, but when he shot it up, nobody was really talking about schizophrenia, how to spot it, how to get treatments, cures. No, oftentimes people were either trying to say that he was a liberal, and I guess before he went insane, he was slightly left on his politics, but before he got schizophrenia, he was slightly left, or that he did the killing because someone put a target of Gabby Giffords' district up because they were going to put political funds into her opponents to try to take away her seat. No one was actually threatening violence, but because of that, Target and all this other stuff tried to become key buzzwords in a lot of the media. If it wasn't so serious and sad, it would almost be downright hilarious. But whenever you see these violent video game controversies and these arguments, know there's a political agenda in it, folks. Know that's what they're after. It's always politics. And, you know, even if these guys are gamers, hardcore gamers, there's definitely warning signs in the way they play these games. And that should also be a clue that something's not right. Like I said, I am an introvert, so I do spend a lot of my free time inside, and I do a lot of it playing games. However, even though most gamers do kind of joke about doing nothing but playing video games all day, most of us probably top out around the 10 or 12 hour mark, and that's if we got absolutely nothing to do on that day. 10 or 12 hours. After that, I'm getting really, really restless. I don't know about anybody else. Maybe on the day that the game we've been waiting for a year or two comes out, we might stay and do longer time than that. But most of us really do top out at the 10 or 12 hours. When I hear these guys who went psycho from playing video games and how long they've played them, they were playing 17, 18 hours a day for weeks on end, I'm like, yeah, you're going to have a psychotic break. Because, to get even the correct amount of sleep to stay functional for most people is around 6 to 6.5 hours. Well, playing that many video games a day means you're pretty much not getting that sleep. You're barely able to get that amount of sleep. Then you have to also eat, poop, and do a few other things just to keep yourself human and running normally, which will also take another hour out of the day. There's no way people can function and play that much for that long. So that should have been a warning sign to people around them. So like I said, mental health needs to be focused on and the stuff. But whenever this stuff happens, it's going to be blamed on guns. It's going to be blamed on media. It's going to be blamed on a scapegoat where people think they can have a quick fix and some political opportunists can make a few points. Always expect that, folks, whenever you hear that. They're never going to really address the real issue, which is mental health. Taking a look at someone, trying to get rid of the stigma, trying to get people either on the right medications or to see a psychologist because you think there might be something wrong with them. That's going to be very tricky. There is no quick solution, and it scores political points for no one. So as long as there's a huge political component to this debate, expect video games to be the favorite scapegoat. Just know your First Amendment rights, know what you're saying, try to educate yourself the best you can do. Anyways, this is Tommy the Game Master signing out. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below.